The hardest part about coaching, especially, the individual technique and some of the fundamentals is, hey, get on this guy, make sure you send him a note when you go home because he's going to need it after this practice. Each guy has to get coached differently. The first 6 weeks, we're kind of getting a gauge of where everybody is. Some guys need that first step on Just Play. They need the terminology and they need to walk you through that first diagram of a drill. Some guys say, Coach, I've been doing this for 4 years. I'm ready to score more goals on man up. Like, let's get to that. So if I'm a freshman that doesn't know my locker from my classroom, I can go there and learn something. If I'm a 6-year senior that wants to be an All-American, I can go there and learn something. And they both have the opportunity to do that on Just Play. The cool part about Just Play is it comes in different phases. So the first thing we ask our guys to be familiar with within Just Play is our terminology, because we speak a completely different language. And whether you're a visual learner or you're a hands-on learner, you have to know the vocabulary. And then it comes back to the type of learner. Are you a visual learner? Okay, well, we need to have the diagram, or you need to see it happen in action. So now you can click on the video tab. That for us is this kind of linear approach to, okay, terminology, diagram, and description. Very few of our guys can conceptualize that on one hit, but then having the video component right next to it. And then obviously our job is to take all that to the field for those few guys that need to do it. Some guys just need to do it. And the beauty of Just Play is you have, okay, let me serve players 1, 2, and 3. All right, player 4, you got to be a guy that's on the field. We get to kind of learn that through Just Play and then the quizzes, et cetera. Such a useful tool. Selfishly, for the staff too, it's our way of having strategy and scheme annually versus I remember years past where, hey, what's that drill? Where does that guy go in that drill? Do you remember? How did we set up this drill? It happens. This is what we do professionally, and it happens all the time. I go back to just our lack of organization on an annual basis. You have all these diagrams and you have Google Docs, but you have it living in 17 different places. It's just such a nice reference point for us as a coaching staff as well. I want it to be essentially this database. It's like, this is your hardware. This is your proprietary knowledge. This is what we should be able to reference on a daily basis to say, hey, what are we missing? Hey, this drill could fill this. Or, man, that scouting report last year, that was so well informed. Why don't we use that as our example to be able to build the scouting template for this year? It holds us accountable because it's so easy to take a practice plan, put it in a folder and say, hey, that was a great session. Well, if that was a great session, let's utilize that video to be able to mirror the drills that we just did. And then let's make sure we reference back to it, because we have to build on those days, not just assume that that's going to happen every time with zero strategy or zero plan to do so. That's what I love about it. And I think for our players is, I come back to the accountability, but again, they crave information. They crave content. So if it's 5 minutes in between classes, great. If it's an hour during the summer, awesome. But that content is there for them. It's easy to navigate. It's on their phones, and then they can ask for more. And I think that's been our favorite part.